everyone, welcome back to Canadian Charisma. Hope you all doing great and staying safe. I am back with another update on TR to PR pathway. On May 26, 2021, a new update came about TR to PR pathway. Technically, this update is not for the applicants. It is the instruction guide for IRCC officers who are going to process TR to PR pathway applications. But it gives the applicant many clues about their applications and some answers to their curious questions. So first of all, I'm gonna start with a good news, guys. Canada may raise caps on temporary immigration programs. Last week, the Canadian government hinted at the possibility of raising the caps for TR to PR pathway. The Canadian Immigration Minister Marco Mancino said, "I am open to discuss on whether or not to review the current caps." As we all know that international graduate stream has reached its cap in first few days. So there are two possibilities. Number one, they may raise the cap, and number two, many applications can get cancelled due to double submission in the same stream or because of big mistakes, which will open the space again. So watch the video until the end because down the way you will get many tips to prepare yourself for the next step. So let's dive into the details to find some tips and answers. I will leave the link for this website in the description below. You can go through this as many as times you want. This section contains policy, procedure and guidance used by IRCC staff for assessing the applications against the policy conditions. Applicants should be assessed against the established eligibility criteria below based on the information and documents provided in their application. Applicants must meet all of the following criteria to be approved based on the stream to which they are applying. These are the legal entry into Canada and status as a temporary resident, official language, current work experience, intent to reside outside of Quebec, qualifying work experience and education requirements. So first one is legal entry into Canada and status as a temporary resident. As we all know that to prove your status in Canada, you must submit a copy of your most recent immigration document such as work permit or study permit. I got many questions regarding this, that people forgot to submit their work permit, their study permit, or they upload other document in place of that. And they are asking, are they in trouble or not? Honestly guys, this is totally depend to IRCC officer. It can differ to person. Maybe two applicants made the same mistake, but one of them can get cancellation and other of them can get second chance to correct it. So another question is that some people ask their study permit or their work permit is expiring or expired, and what can they do in this condition? You can apply with your old work permit, old study permit with the proof that you are eligible to restore your status and with the proof that you already applied to restore your status in Canada. Next is official language. I will not go through this now here because we already talked about this. As you know that you need general training with CLV 4 or 5 according to stream, and your result should be less than 2 years old. Next one is current work experience. Principal applicant must be currently working in order to be eligible for this public policy. Current employment must be in Canada, must be in any occupation listed in National Occupation Classification, must be authorized to work, must be paid in wages or commission, does not include self-employment. For current work experience, you could be working in any occupation listed in National Occupation Classification. There is a difference between current work experience and the work experience counted toward your eligibility. The work experience which is counted towards your eligibility must be in the NOC which is listed in Annex A or Annex B. So here is the answer for the question like asked by many people, that they can lose their hours in next few weeks, or maybe they can lose their work because their employer's work is going slow. So does not matter because they will consider your current employment status the date IRCC will receive your application. That is the lock-in date for that. So I'm sorry guys, I will keep saying that this is the answer for this question, this is the answer for this question, because I got many questions in my email and here are the answer for those questions. So I will keep saying that throughout the video. Next one is factor to consider: employee versus self-employed. So you can read that by yourself, because I think so you are pretty much aware that if your work is self-employed or is employment. So this is the answer for another question. Current employment while under maintained status will be considered as a eligible employment under the public policy, provided the applicant continue to work in Canada under the same conditions as their original work permit until a decision was made on their application for a work permit extension. What that mean is, if your work permit or study permit got expire or getting expire, but you are still working the same while you are waiting for the work permit extension or a new work permit, your employment will be considered as eligible employment. So many people ask that their study permit is expiring and they applied for the work permit, but they are still waiting for the decision. So it does not matter your work, if you are working on the same job or working like same before, your current employment will be considered eligible employment. So next is, there are no requirements that the current employment will be full-time or permanent. Applicant do not need to remain employed throughout the processing of the application. Again guys, who are asking that they can lose their work, applicants do not need to remain employed throughout the processing of the application. You should be currently employed at the date IRCC will receive your application. Principal applicants are requested to provide documentary evidence of their employment in Canada through a combination of a copy of their most recent work permit, unless they are work permit exempts, and the employer letter of a reference from their current employment. So as a proof of your current employment, you need to provide your work permit, study permit if it is applicable, but you need to provide an employer letter of reference. The letter must include a location of work, specific period of your employment to from dates, description of your main responsibilities and duties as we discussed in NOC part, your total annual salary and benefits, the number of hours you work per week, your employer's name, signature, full address, telephone number and email address if applicable. If your employer refuses to provide you that letter or refuse to provide with these all conditions, so in that case what you can do, request it through email and keep both sent and received email as a proof that you tried for it. Ask your manager, supervisor if they can provide it, and then attach it with the proof that he or she is your manager or supervisor. Provide all other evidence of your employment, for example pay stubs, letter of joining, a record of employment, etc., and write an explanation letter. If your manager, supervisor refuse to give you the reference letter, ask your co-worker if they can provide it, then attach it with the proof that he or she is your co-worker. Provide all other evidence as we discussed before and write an explanation letter to explain your situation. Next is intent to reside outside of Quebec. So you need to give the satisfactory documentation or a letter, something to provide to IRCC officer that you are intent to reside outside of Quebec. But if you could not, you submit your application, but if the IRCC officer find that, oh, this is not satisfactory, on this basis they will not cancel your application. They will obviously give you a fair chance, the second chance to submit that documents again, because they said if they are not satisfied with that, they will processing officers must follow procedural fairness guidelines. So what is the procedural fairness guidelines? That decision maker are required to follow the rules here, and to procedural fairness required the applicants be provided with a fair and unbiased assessment of their application, be informed of the decision makers concerned, that what are the IRCC officers concerned, and have a meaningful opportunity to provide a response to concerns about their application. So you will have chance to submit your response to the officer for this problem. So don't worry about this. Qualifying work experience. So work experience is different from current experience. Current experience could be in any NOC, but work experience you need in the combination of Annex A or B, or only in Annex A if you are healthcare essential. So let's start with this. Work experience must meet the following requirements. As we know that we need 1 year full time work experience or 1560 hours in last 3 years. The applicant must have been authorized to work in Canada. The work must have occurred in Canada. So it means if you are outside Canada, you went outside and you are working online for the company from there, that will not consider towards your hours of work experience. The work must be essential occupation listed. So as we told you, the application must have paid wages, not self-employed. And again, the work experience should be within last 3 years, 1560 hours. But here is the thing, like I will explain you. I got again the questions about this here. Work experience must be acquired over a period of at least 1 year. Work in excess of 30 hours per week over a shorter period cannot compensate for any shorter overall period of experience. So what that mean is that you need to acquire this work experience 1560 hours in 52 weeks, minimum 52 weeks. It could be 2 years, 3 years, but minimum 52 weeks, not in 50 weeks, not in 40 weeks. Suppose you are working 40 hours a week and you got all that 1560 hours in 39 weeks or 40 weeks. No, they will not take it as eligible work experience. So you supposed to get these all hours in 52 weeks, not less than 52 weeks. So suppose you are working 40 hours one week, 38 hours another week, 15 hours another weeks, it's okay. You can work, you at the end you can get average hours for that, but it should be complete within 52 weeks, at least 52 weeks. Next here, an allowance for reasonable period of vacation time will be made in calculating the period of qualifying work experience. For example, 2-week period of paid vacation leave within given a 52 week of period in which applicant was engaged in qualifying work experience. So generally we have 2 weeks or 1 week vacation period and we get paid for that. That period will calculate toward your work experience. You can count that hours in your work experience. But if you are going for long vacations and unpaid vacations, that will not count in your work experience. Work experience must have been authorized. Principal applicants should provide a copy of work permit or study permit that demonstrate that they held authorization for the time worked. So here is the answer for another question asked by many people, that I acquired the work experience while I was on study permit. Am I eligible for essential worker stream? Answer for that is yes. As long as you have 1560 hours in NOC listed in Annex A or B in the period of last 3 years but not less than 52 weeks, you are eligible to apply for essential worker stream. There is a note for students: make sure you are authorized to work. I mean, as students are allowed to work only 20 hours off campus, I think they are allowed to work more at vacation time, and due to COVID they were allowed to work more in 2020. So make sure that you haven't worked over and do not misrepresent any information which cannot support with evidence. Misrepresentation could result in 5 years bar. So next is employment must have occurred in Canada. In most cases, employer letter of reference or employment contracts will contain the location of work. Work experience acquired while working for a Canadian company outside of Canada is ineligible for this policy. Next one is essential occupations. We already talked a lot about this, but I got many questions after that, so I will go through one more time. First one is eligible health related occupation. So to be eligible for this stream, your work experience must be in NOC listed in Annex A only. You could work on different NOCs. Suppose you worked on one NOC for 6 months, or another NOC for another 6 months, or maybe 3 months to work on 3 different NOC, but all the NOC must fall in Annex A only. You cannot combine it with Annex B. Next is other eligible essential occupation. To be eligible for this stream, The 1 year of work experience must have been acquired in one or more occupation listed in Annex B or in the combination of Annex A and B. But if you have all the work experience in Annex A only, you are not eligible for this stream. Then you need to look for health related occupations. Students, once again, if you acquired any kind of work experience like 1560 hours in any NOC in Annex A or B, you are also eligible to apply under these streams. For the period of work experience claimed in the application, all the applicant must demonstrate they perform both of the following: the action identified in the initial lead statement of NOC description, a substantial number of main duties listed in the NOC description, including all the essential duties and all the duties that distinguish a particular occupation from any other. Duty that begins with may in the NOC description are not usually considered to be essential duties. So how are you going to check that duties? Go on NOC website, write your NOC code here. I just chose the random one, and you can see here under the job title you can see the lead statement of that particular NOC, and here is the another title for this particular NOC code and main duties of the NOC. Another thing here, there are consideration of applicants with experience in NOC 4031 secondary school teachers and NOC 4032 elementary school and kindergarten teachers, but there is a condition for them that work experience acquired in NOC 4031 and 4032 is only eligible if the language of instructions was French. So you should be teaching in French. If you are in NOC 4031 and 4032, then you are eligible to apply for essential worker. Second, there is no restrictions on the subject of instructions provided the delivery was in French. So for example, experience as a math teacher is eligible if they were teaching in French. So it does not matter what subject you are teaching. You could teach science, social studies, math, but the instruction should be in French, and you no need to demonstrate that you know French by the French test for this particular NOC to apply under essential worker stream. Next one is wages or commission. As you know, your all work experience should be paid and your current work also be paid to be eligible for this stream. Another one is educational requirements. So we already talked about these educational requirements a lot. If you want to read them again, just read, and if you have any question regarding this education requirements, just leave me a comment. I will answer you as soon as possible. Let's move to some important tips. If you haven't applied yet and you are still preparing to apply, what you should do to avoid the mistakes: download all the forms and save them with the same names as they are. Fill in the information and always double check after completing. Scan and save the documents with the exact name. For example, the work permit or study permit should be saved with the name proof of status in Canada. If you need to upload one document to more than one place, save it again with the name you are uploading for. Write a good letter of explanation. After completing all the documents and after all uploading, do not rush. Check all intakes once again before submitting. If you already applied and you made a mistake, then do not worry if you made mistake in anything other than eligibility criteria. So these things comes under eligibility criteria. So you will always get a second chance to correct your mistakes. So you need to get ready to correct the mistakes. What you're supposed to do, download all the needed forms where you made the mistake and save them with the same name. Fill in the correct information and always double check after completing. I'm gonna repeat that all steps again. Scan and save the documents with the exact name as I told you. Again, if you need to upload one document to more than one place, save it again with the name you are uploading for and write a good letter of explanation. After completing all documents, wait for your acknowledgement of receipt, AOR or application number. You will get all the instructions to submit the documents. So there is another recommendation out there that you can submit these documents by IRCC web form. So let's go on IRCC web form and we will discuss rest there. So if you go on IRCC web form here and we go down there, so type of application, What we can choose, permanent residence applied online, that's what we did in TR to PR pathway. Type of application, when you choose, we have only one option here, express entry. There is no option for TR to PR pathway right now. Maybe they'll add it later, but right now we don't have that. So I don't know if you can upload something through this. As I talked to IRCC, and one of my viewer told me too that he talked to IRCC that they said you can upload the document after you will get your AOR. So if you want to upload your documents here, I don't think so it will make any negative impact on your file. You are fine, just go ahead. So what you need to do, family name, given name, email address, your date of birth, country of birth, your client ID. Right now you do not have any application number. Fill in the information. What you can do, just upload your document, but make sure you will upload them again when you get your application number, and when they give you the instruction to upload the documents, again you upload them. Just don't be rely on this that I did by IRCC web form. If you have already applied and made mistakes in eligibility criteria, which is your status in Canada, your language requirements, your current employment, your work experience eligibility, processing fee, in this case, then you only can wait for the decision. It depends on the IRCC officer how he or she will treat your application. They can ask you that documents again, and they can just cancel it right away. As you guys know that they are assigning TR to PR pathway application to the visitor visa IRCC officers, because right now there is no visitor visa, there is no temporary visa happening, so they are free. That's why they are appointed to handle these TR to PR pathway applications. So you need to just wait for the decision. Check if you are eligible for another stream. If you are, then go for it. You are allowed to apply under 2 or 3 streams, but you cannot apply in the same stream once again, because if you submit your second application in same stream, they will cancel the second one directly. So if you are eligible for another stream, that's okay, you can apply for that. So if you are not eligible for another stream, what you can do, you can try to update your file by IRCC web form before you will get your AOR, because once your application will get assigned to officer and they did not find all the eligible document, they may refuse your application. As I told you before, IRCC web form will not make any negative impact on your file, but there is a very rare chance that you can update through it. Second thing you can do, just get ready all the required documents to correct your mistake, because if they ask you to upload the documents once again, you will have the right documents ready for them. And third thing, get ready a complete application package and wait to open the space again. As I told you before that there could be many cancellation, and as the statement of Minister Marco Mendicino, they can reach the cap too. That's it guys. If you have any question, please feel free to leave me a comment below, or email me on canadiancharisma@yahoo.com, or DM me on Instagram. You can find the link in the description below. As soon as I will get another update, I will be back with that. Till then, stay positive, stay safe. If you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. It gives me the motivation to bring more information for you guys. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it and press the bell icon to get notified for new videos. Thanks for watching this video.